Hello, and welcome to Daymaker Connect and our guided tour to explore your network. This is one of the most important parts of the Daymaker experience as we look at the connections you've spent a career building and collecting. Daymaker is designed to help us use those connections better, so let's get started. When you access the network page, the first thing you'll see is the Ask Daymaker AI search box. The search is a natural language query, so you can find far more things than you typically would find on other platforms about how your connections align to your goals. The search tool retains history for 10 of the queries you've made. Let's pick one of these to take a look at. How about who in my network works in AI infrastructure? The Daymaker AI algorithms will look at your North Star and your relevant goals and identify who from amongst your contacts are the strongest matches. Typically, the search results will bring back 5 to 7 strong matches. So let's take a look at the first one, Ankit Garg. Ankit moved from Oracle to Google recently, and the information below tells me why he's a critical connection in the AI infrastructure space. There's also a section with some introductory text for me to use to send an email, a text, or a LinkedIn message to set up the conversation or even to reintroduce myself. This information is available for everyone identified as a strong match for the request. Let's take a look at a really important component for the entire Daymaker Connect system, the individual connection card that reflects each person's detail. Has his basics, his title, his current company, but importantly, it also has AI conversation starters. These conversation starters use the context that you've created from your North Star and your top goals to highlight conversational points to use with this connection. You can also regenerate these if you ever want to see a new set of data. Now, if you keep moving down the card, here is a past event that I attended that Ankit also attended. Having that data, where we both attended the same event, allows us to have context about the circles that we travel in. You can also add notes about the person, and it appears I've already left one about Ankit, identifying the meeting that I met him at, where it was, at the McKinsey offices in Redwood City. This is great context for understanding various details about a person. Another thing you can do from the connection card is to save a reminder to follow up. So here at Save for Follow Up, if I click that, then I can choose the calendar and choose a date. Let's see, I'm out next week at AI4, so let's pick a time next week. I can also get as specific as I want by setting a time, so we'll do it early in the morning, and then save it. And what that does for you is you will receive an email at the time of your reminder that you had planned to reach out to Ankit at that time. You can view all of your follow-ups on the follow-up tab on the network page. So when we look at follow-ups, you see Ankit, since I just added him, and the way this is structured is that the people that you've tagged to follow up with are available here. The ones that have an actual schedule are at the top of the page, and the other follow-ups you've identified are below the scheduled contacts. The calendar on the left is a very handy way to see the scheduled follow-ups you've created. For example, here is the one I just created for Ankit next Tuesday. Follow-ups is a great way to manage your activity around building connections in a single simplified interface. Also available in the network tab is a view of your connections by company. This tab highlights the companies affiliated with all of your connections, and you can stack that by the number of contacts per company, or you can just stack it by alphabetical order. Of course, you can also search here to get directly to what you're looking for. Categories is very similar. We've segmented all of your contacts by categories in case you want to review your connections in a very specific functional area. So now let's move on to the events page. The Events tab is really your portal into the connections that you're building and maintaining through various group activities. You'll notice at the very top, I've connected 3 of my calendars, and the upcoming events below reflect events that are scheduled on one of my 3 calendars. You can link multiple calendars from both Google and from Outlook. So across these calendars that are connected, you can generate a pre-brief for upcoming events. You can also create a new event if there's not one already on on your calendar. The template is straightforward, and it's similar for both calendar-based invites as well as any events that you directly create. The basic data points are the event details, name, location, date, and then a CSV needs to be uploaded of the attendees. On meetings where you're pulling from a calendar entry, a lot of that information will already be pre-populated. And if you don't have the attendee list, we will help you create the request that you can send to the host. So this is how to create an event briefing. It looks very much the same when you generate a pre-brief, except most of it is pre-filled based on the invite details. So let's think about what an event briefing looks like. If someone is not on the attendee list that's at the event, you can also add them. Here's an example of what an event briefing looks like. This is from an event I attended recently in San Francisco. It lists the people who were planned to be at that event in 3 core tabs: people to meet, people you know, and all attendees. You can add other attendees by searching for your contacts, or if the attendee isn't in your contacts, then you can add the attendee manually. For each attendee, the system scores the connection based on my own goals and North Star with what the other person seems to be working on. You can access their LinkedIn profile. If they're not a connection and you want to add them to your Daymaker contacts, you can add them here. You can also do a deep dive, which we talk about in the 4th video in this guided tour series. Importantly, Daymaker's AI algorithm identifies why each person matters uniquely to you and provides 3 to 4 conversation starters to help you start off on the right foot when you meet this person. Before an event, I review the top scored individuals who I'm less familiar with and look for those people during the event so I can drive connections with the people most aligned with my priorities. During the event, I also track who I spent time with by using these handy Met buttons. I often skip the entire process of connecting on LinkedIn during live conversations because it's so much easier for me to just toggle the Met button and then I can follow up the next day with a LinkedIn connection. Now, doing this with an event that has several hundred people can get a little daunting on a mobile device. So we also have search by name above the table so that if you know the name you're looking for, you can enter that here and be taken straight to the attendee card. And lastly, you can also add notes about the event so that you remember anything special that happened and have a record of what's important and pertinent. So back to the events page, you'll see your upcoming events where you can generate pre-briefs. Your 3 next events and pre-briefs will also be on your network tab. You can also look at past briefings so that you are able to see the history of where you've been, who was there, and the context that you may have gathered from being with those connections at those events. Understanding and leveraging our connections really is the reason we're here using the Daymaker Connect product. Being able to search your existing connections using AI-enabled contextual search is an important way to be able to look at who's within your reach. And then events are one of the most important ways we nurture our connections and meet new contacts that become part of our circle. So this guided tour has covered both of those topics because they're an important part of the broader story when we look at how to leverage our networks more intentionally to build stronger and more meaningful relationships. We appreciate the time you've spent with us on this guided tour, and we look forward to growing the collective value of our connections alongside you. See you soon.